Hey there, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Player Spotlight. Today, we've got Space Station Gaming's Hunter Vogt joining us here. Vogt, thanks for taking the time, man. I want to talk to you. I want to start off, as we usually do, with where you grew up. You're Scottish. Talk to me about what it was like growing up in good old Scotland.
I mean, it's just kind of normal childhood, you know. Go to school, you come home, go outside with your friends pretty much all night, and then when the street lights turn on, you're back in the house. Pretty much how it'd be. It's pretty normal.
Just the normal, you were just kind of chilling the majority of the time, huh?
Yep.
No, did you play any sports or anything like that growing up? Any football for you?
Yeah, I played football. The real football, not American football.
Right, of course. Yeah,
Uh,
the real football.
in my garden, I had like two trees, which kind of used the kind of perfect width for goalposts, so we kind of just played it there the whole time.
All right. What were you really into playing football for a long time, or did you just kind of like fall off of it as you got older?
I don't know, like when I was younger, I done cross country, swimming, football, done all the stuff. I think football was what I done the most. I think I was playing football till I was like 14, 15.
Mm. You the best football player on your team, you think? I think Nika said he played a
Uh,
little bit when we did our interview.
I'm pretty sure it depends. Defending wise, no, but attacking
Mm.
wise, probably.
All right, you're an offensive player. That makes sense with the way
Yeah,
that you play Smite, I suppose.
yeah.
Um, so what did you grow up playing as far as video games go? What did you start playing on PC? Or did you play on any consoles growing up or anything?
First game was probably like my own first time I had my own console was like an Xbox, then FIFA, stuff like that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
WWE, it's the usual. I don't know if actually WWE was usual, but that's what I played with my friends.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say I know Hindu Man was really into WWE when he was younger as well. I didn't know that WWE was so big over in Europe. Was that like a big thing, or do you think it was just you playing the game?
Uh, I feel like most people in my class watched it,
Hmm,
so I guess it's
interesting.
kind of a big thing, I guess.
All right, so I'm assuming you're playing a lot of WWE, a lot of FIFA, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. When did you transition over to playing on PC? Do you remember what your first PC game was?
First PC game was World of Warcraft. I watched my brother. Well, when I had one PC, so I was like in the attic or the loft, whatever you want to call it. And
Mm-hmm.
then my brother was like, he's older, so he'd like get most of the playing time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'd basically just sit and watch him sometimes, but sometimes he just tell me to go away. He wouldn't even let me watch him. It's quite tragic.
Wow. And little did he know he had the prodigy right next to him, man. You could have been helping him. You could have been helping him the whole time. Uh,
Yeah.
so you start playing WoW. That's a starting point for a lot of our players. It seems like. When did you hear about Smite and what got you into it?
I watched a Rooster Teeth video. They did a Let's Play on Smite, and after that, I just kind of, it looked fun, you know.
Hmm.
And I just downloaded the game, played it,
What at what
and here
point
we
was
are.
that? Like, do you remember who the newest god was at that time?
I should check. I think it was the Athena release.
Okay, okay,
So that
that's not
was June 5th, 2013, around that time.
okay. Uh,
Holy, 7 years, jeez.
yeah, it's 2020, by the way. That was seven
Yeah.
years ago, which is really crazy to think about. So, what did you like playing in Smite right away? Were you always a hunter player?
I think the first god I played was Artemis. So yeah, I guess you could say I was a
Ah,
Hunter player. But like, when I started playing ranked, I just failed, pretty much.
mm-hmm.
I think that's the
Just
best way to
do
learn the game. Just play every role.
yeah,
So you just learn what
definitely.
every role does.
How did you get involved in competitive? Did you just get noticed playing rank?
I think I was just ranked, and I think my first team ever, I was playing mid for Nils, Amuzi,
Hmm.
all the way
Who
back
else was on
then.
that team?
Amuzi, and that's all I remember.
Just Emilzy.
But
Hey, no,
yeah,
pretty good
then
core,
I went on
right?
holiday for 2 weeks, and then I got kicked, so unlucky.
Unlucky, man. That cutthroat.
Yeah,
The EU scene back then, I suppose. So you played mid for them.
yeah.
How did you end up? I think everyone their first remembrance of you would probably be on that Cyclone GG roster. How did you get from being a Mulesy's mid for a little bit to playing on Cyclone?
I mean, I was on a really awful team, Justice, next
Oh,
season
that's
two.
right, Justice. I forgot about that.
We went like 3-28, I think, in the whole year. It's quite
Yep.
awful. And then I took like
That
a
team is
break.
kind of infamous, right? They're in the discussion for worst SPL team of all time, right?
Won a game. FK didn't.
That's true. That is true. You guys
And then
got some dubs. Fair enough.
I don't know how we got dubs. We beat Energy one. No, but I was reviving. Never mind.
So wait, how did you get on that Justice team? Because despite the struggles, obviously still an SPL team. How did you get that opportunity? Do you remember?
Probably just playing ranked, I think.
Sure.
Don't actually remember that well.
Fair enough. So you have your Justice experiment. You get your first taste of the SPL. How did you start to team with what became that really famous rival core of you and Kalas and Deathwalker and Wolfie and Ice Ice?
It's actually kind of lucky this. Like, after the Justice season, I did take a break from Smite, where I didn't play for like 3-4 months. And one day I just logged on. Within like 5-10 minutes, Deathwalker just messaged me if he wants to make a team. It was
Wow.
actually just so lucky that happened.
That is actually crazy. You hadn't played in like 3 or 4 months, and you just instantly got a spot on the Deathwalker team, huh?
Yeah. And Deathwalker, he wasn't good back then. He was quite.
That's true.
He came out of nowhere. That's all I'm gonna say.
I feel like the whole team kind of came out of nowhere, but Deathwalker more than most. I distinctly remember that was when Hog was really prevalent in solo lane season 3, and
Hmm.
Deathwalker was building Frenzy instead of Hog on Chalk.
Yeah, I
And
remember.
and he told me, and I was like, "Yo, why did you do that?" And he said, "It's the same thing. It's more damage to confirm the buff." And I was like, "Okay, man, whatever you say, I guess." That was it was an interesting team to watch for sure. But that's those Cyclone days. Talk to me about the early days of your squad, because I remember you guys coming in. Everyone was really hyping up Ice Ice as a really big part of that team. Do you remember going like preparing to go to that LAN in season 3, the group stage LAN?
Just don't remember that, to be honest. That I can't remember who we played that tournament. Was that one when we went into semis? I think it might have been.
Yeah, I can't remember the group stage LAN. It brought everybody, but it was
Oh,
NAEU.
okay, yeah, I remember now. We got put in like the hard one, right? There was like an
I
easy
think you're
group. I'm
right.
pretty sure there was like an easy
Yep.
group. That like at the time, I remember like all the teams talking when we went to the LAN saying that if any of the 4 teams at the current moment in another group, they'd qualify. I'm pretty sure that's what we were saying.
Mm.
I think we were just unlucky, to be honest. We got like such a hard group.
Yes, I do remember you guys having a tough group, but I remember Ice Ice coming in with a whole lot of confidence, anyways, and I love that about
Yeah.
him. He was always ready to talk some smack. Was that your first time coming to America? Was that group stage land?
Nah, I've been to like Florida with my family before.
Okay,
Like I've never been. It's my first time in Georgia. I think
sure.
for sure.
What what was your parents' reaction whenever you told them that you were going to be able to fly to America to play in a LAN? Were they supportive of it?
I mean, they just didn't want me to go alone, but I mean, I had Hazer as a coach, so I think that's like the reason they were like fine with it. Hazer's from Scotland as well. Like
Uh,
we just
uh,
fly together.
did you guys live close to one another at all, or was it just like you guys were on opposite ends of Scotland?
It was like 30 minutes away from each other. Well,
Okay.
he's from like East Coast, but he lives near me,
Okay.
so it's
Fair
quite
enough.
nice.
Did he have to come over and like meet your parents before he was allowed to chaperone you to
Nah,
America?
we just met him at the airport. I'm pretty sure.
Hmm. Fair enough. Fair enough. What was your parents' reaction to you like starting to play Smite, full time for money, basically as a job? Were they into that, or were they a little bit concerned about it?
I think like just my mum was just worried. I think just like all mums are. But then when I started getting
Mhm.
paid, she kind of like got it. She supported me after that. My dad was
We can
kind of
jump
like,
ahead. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was kind of like he never really. I feel like he never worried it too much. He never showed it at
Mhm.
least.
Jumping ahead a little bit, what was their reaction when you told them you were going to move here for full time job? What did they think about that?
They both thought it'd be good, just like life lessons and stuff like that. They both thought it'd
Mhm.
be good to do. I mean, obviously my mum doesn't want me to, stuff like that. It's the
Sure.
usual mum stuff.
Well, I'm sure by that point they understood that it was worth the time because by the time you moved here, you had been to World's Finals. You had competed at the highest level. So I'm sure they'd seen some of those dividends pay. But let's rewind a little bit before those World's Finals. You
Yeah.
you have your first LAN experience with Cyclone GG. That goes okay despite the tough group. Um, I think a big thing that we always talked about on the casting team is that you guys just stuck together despite being at the bottom end of the SPL, and it's just amazing that you guys made it all the way to the top. When did you realize that, you know, you guys were actually going to be very good very, very quickly? Because you guys went from the bottom to the top within like a season or two.
I think it was just like during the season three, like the pre-worlds
Mm-hmm.
between super regions and worlds, we just kept scrimming the whole time. I think that really helped us. We were scrimming like energy and obey pretty much every day, like one of them. That gave us like a lot of good practice to like the best teams at the time. I think that was like a big thing for us as a team.
So you guys, so yeah, season 3 you did not make worlds, correct?
Yep.
And then season 4 you guys came out of the gate pretty good right away, if I remember correctly, right? And it was, oh, are they going to be able to keep it up? Were you guys good right away in season 4?
Um, I think so.
Yeah, I think so as well. I can't remember
I don't
exactly,
remember
but
too well, but I feel like we weren't. I feel like we
yeah,
weren't awful at least.
yeah, feel like you guys were pretty solid for sure. What was that weird for you guys to like? I mean, I'm sure every team thinks they're going to get a lot better. They're going to be good, but that level of improvement is nearly unprecedented, especially with no roster changes. Were you guys surprised at how good you were in season 4?
Uh, uh, kind of. I think we all knew, like, yeah, obviously, like you said, every team knows they're going to be good and stuff like that. But just, I don't know. I think like, I feel like I didn't notice any of the changes either. Like while we were playing, I didn't notice us getting better. It just kind of happened.
You just suddenly started winning games. It felt like,
Yeah,
and then what? It was season 4 at the mid-season that you guys took down Energy, right? That was like a huge moment for you guys. That you didn't you beat Energy pretty early on in that year at LAN?
at LAN. Honestly, don't remember the LANs too much.
Or maybe it was
So
during the regular season. But you
I
were
know we beat them
like,
in regular season for sure.
okay,
I remember that
what?
game.
Talk to me about that game. That must have been a pretty big moment for you guys to take down the back-to-back world champs.
At the time, like all we wanted to do is just beat Energy. That was like our goal, was just to beat them. Because they're like the best team. You want to prove yourself. So our goal was just to beat them. And when we beat them, it's just I don't know. So like, it's I don't know how it felt. It was just good. It just felt good. Showing everyone that you're not actually terrible at the game.
Yeah. Hey, got to be pretty good in order to take down the back-to-back champs for sure. Your guys' run goes all the way through season 4. You end up it, playing Energy in the semifinals that year at Worlds. Do you remember what that experience was like going up against them in a full best of 5 in front of a crowd?
That was actually probably the most fun set I played, like ever. It was
Yeah.
so fun. The first two games, like, they kind of threw a bit, but I mean,
Hey,
as well from memory, I'm pretty sure they should have beat us, but they just threw a lot. We just
it's part of the
capitalized on the
game.
mistake. Yeah.
Part of the game for sure.
And
That must have been, yeah.
game five, I think there was one fight where Ice just blinked Kennett's jump and he's playing Fenrir, and then we just won the game from that fight pretty much.
Man, that must have been pretty crazy to beat them in a game 5, knowing you're going into the finals the next day. How confident were you going into the finals against United? that year. You must have been riding a huge high that you had just taken down the back-to-back champs.
We never, like, going into Worlds, we never thought on any team would win. Like, we thought it'd be us or Bay final. But Bay kind of
Really?
got stomped, yeah.
Hmm.
Bay got stomped. We were coming Bay the whole time, and they were like really good. But
Yeah.
I mean, I think they just choked. I don't know what happened to them. And then we kind of got. We didn't get rolled over. It was like 2-1, and then 1-1, 2-1, and then the
Hmm.
FG thing happened. Yeah, unlucky. Not much you can do really.
Did it take you a
Stuff
while to
just
get
happens.
over that loss, or was it that simple? Just felt like you still performed really well and you guys were happy with it.
I don't really dwell on losses too much. I don't know. I don't see the point in dwelling on losses. I think it's better to just move on. Just
Hmm.
take the lessons.
Well, it didn't take long for you guys to get back in that exact same position. Season 5, you're back in the World's Finals. Compare the two for me. Did you feel more confident in Season 5 than you did in Season 4?
For sure. I feel like after the first game, actually stomped them so hard. And in
Hmm.
game two, we get a lead as well. We're like stomping them as well, game two, and then we just choke. Well, not choke, we just throw some tower dives that aren't good. Cyclonic rotated me to one fighting mid. That was bad. And then, I don't know, it's went downhill.
That must have been pretty tough. I know Alpha Jackal was talking a lot about how tough that was on Twitter afterwards. Did the second one hurt more than the first?
Yeah, the second one was like, painful. I don't know. Like at the time, I was like, I'm pretty sure I actually cried.
Yeah.
The first one, like, it was the first time, it's like not, it wasn't like upsetting. It wasn't like, it was close games,
Yeah.
I think the last game, season 4, wasn't like that close.
Hmm.
I actually don't remember now. Jesus.
It was kind of close. They were starting to pull away, I think, when you guys pulled fire.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a desperation play, but you guys felt like you needed to make a play, I imagine, if my memory serves me properly. So they definitely they were fairly close games in season 4, but I imagine
Okay.
you guys kind of felt like you were there ahead of schedule season 4, right? Like you would have that was your first year that you were considered like a top team to get to finals. Must have felt pretty good on its own. Um, Season 5, being there twice in a row, I'm sure it just made you even hungrier to get it.
Actually, like, honestly, we should have won both years. I think against ENA we just didn't play like ourselves on that day. I think it
Hmm.
was like on another day maybe we win, but I mean that's like stupid to say, I guess.
Sure.
Because any team like another day maybe Energy beat us and get to the finals.
Hmm.
So I guess that's kind of irrelevant to say. But I think we definitely should have beat Splice. We kind of figured them out, but we didn't even know. The game one we actually figured them out. Picked the perfect
Hmm.
pick. The pick was just kill front line, death played armor, and then he was unkillable. We didn't clock it until like it was too late. The game 5 we kind of clocked it. It was too late.
Yeah, that Game 5 draft is one that people talk about a lot. At the end of you kind of get caught up in the draft. And you can't really see it holistically sometimes until you're like loading in, basically. Did you realize when you were did you feel confident loading into game number 5 that you had gotten a draft that you felt like you could win with?
I felt like on rival, I never pretty much any team, mainly rival though. I guess I understand. Maybe not PK so somewhat as much, but like rival and SSG, I feel like I'm not really worried about the draft. 'Cause I feel like we just know and trust each other to play the game. I play the gods well. Like I could just randomly say, pick me. I want to play Medusa here, and I'm pretty like the team would trust me. Dardish could
Hmm.
say, I want to play Isis or Chunga or anything Anubis, and maybe like,
Hmm.
okay, sure. If you believe in yourself, then whatever. Because I'm pretty sure we all have the skill to just play the gods at the level needed.
Interesting. Season 5 obviously ends in a little bit of heartbreak. You decide to split from the group going into the next year in season 6. You leave that core from that old rival team. How hard was that for you to make that decision?
I was actually pretty. I was like, I had to choose. I was like really, really hard. I had the choice between going with Ice and Dardez, Nika, Cherry,
Hmm.
or Deathwalker and Kenneth No Zeros. So that was like a hard choice, really hard choice. Because I was good friends with Dardez, Cherry, Nika as well.
Hmm.
But I just felt like at the time, the other team. was better.
Yeah, I mean that PK roster looked like it was going to be really, really successful. What was that year like? I mean, you move here to America, you're living in the same house as those guys. Obviously, we know how it ends up going, but um, did you enjoy that experience, or do you wish you would have gone a different way with that year?
That year was good actually. I mean, I just learned a lot. Not like Smite, not really like Smite related, just like life related. 'Cause that's my first time living alone. I like not
Mm-hmm.
living with my parents. So Kennigan like showed me some stuff because he lived himself for quite a while, and like, just the house was pretty fun. Scrimming wasn't too fun because like I was only allowed to play Jingwei pretty much the whole year, so that's really boring.
Mm-hmm.
But like just life was still living outside of Smite was pretty fun.
Yeah, hey, that sometimes that's worth your time for sure for those sorts of experiences. Coming into this year, you decide to go with that other core that you mentioned, the Dardes Cherry Nika core. Um, was that an easy decision for you? How did you decide, or how did they reach out to you? Did you reach out to them? How did that sort of happen?
I mean, pretty much like since like maybe like October-ish last year. I would like me and Nico was just throwing about each other saying, "No, next year we'll play, next year we'll play, next year we'll play." And then after they lost, it kind of just and we never really talked about it. I think we just all knew it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And the refs, well, me, Dardes, and well, me, not so much. Me, Dardes, Chica, Nika, and Cherry knew it was happening. And the refs just came up and said, "Yo, are you actually down to join us? If so, then we can just be done with it and don't have to like mess about anything else." I was like, "Yeah, let's do it."
Yeah, I think that was the worst kept secret in the entire SPL that you were going to join that core. I feel like every single person knew about it last year.
What can you do?
Hey,
I'm not
it's
much
been
of a
working out
secret
for you
keeper.
guys so far. How does this team kind of compare to your teams in the past? Like, how different is it playing with these group of guys in comparison to some of your other teams?
It feels like rival kind of like the same kind of like environment, and not no one's taking it too seriously. But like when it comes to it, people take it seriously. People just troll in general. Cherry hates it, but I mean he loves it at the same time.
That's the way it's going to be for you guys, I suppose. Before we let you go, vote. I normally ask at the very end. Beyond Smite, whenever you're done with your time playing the SPL, do you have anything that you're looking forward to doing that you want to do, or are you just kind of taking it day by day right now?
I mean I've been thinking about it a little bit, like maybe go to uni or something like that. But the only really thing I liked was maths, so I guess it's gonna be something math related when I'm done with Smite. But I mean who knows? We need to wait to see. No, not put too much thought into it. 'Cause I think when you start thinking about that, it's kind of just gonna be like you start thinking about it then after Smite, you may as well just stop playing Smite. That's what I see it.
Well, hopefully you stick around for years to come, vote, because you've been a lot of fun to watch for sure. Appreciate you taking the time. You got any shout outs you want to give, and any Twitter Twitches that you want to plug, anything like that?
Shout out to Space Station Org, they're insane. They're looking out for us this year. Shout out to Josh, the coach, just for coaching us. I don't know how he does it. Cherry, sub to Cherry. He hates streaming, so sub to Cherry. Sub to Nika as well. I want to stream, so don't sub to me. Don't sub to Dardes. I guess you can sub to Raf.
Sure, if you feel like it. Where
Yeah.
can they find you on Twitter, man?
Vote MBK. I've still got the MBK. Don't know why, but yeah, vote MBK on Twitter.
Got to be working on that branding, bro. We gotta get it to the clean vote all across the board. Thanks so much for the time, bro. Thanks everyone for watching as well. For those of you watching on YouTube, make sure that you give us a like, all that kind of stuff, and comment who you want to see next for Player Spotlight. But we'll see you next time for a new episode of Player Spotlight.
Bye bye.